This work problem is considered by many high school students as extremely confusing and challenging. But the reality is, this problem is not as hard as it appears. Let me guide you in solving this work problem using two different methods. As always, when you solve any worded problem in mathematics, the first step is to understand the problem. So let's read the problem. Alex and Bob can complete a job in 7.2 hours. Bob and Charles can do the same job in 12 hours, and Alex and Charles can finish the same job in 9 hours. How long will it take for Alex, Bob, and Charles to complete the job if they work together? So just reading the problem, we know that that is already confusing. But based on my personal experience, the way I solve problem like this is to always use a table. So let's create a table here. So we have three actors here. We have Alex, we have Bob, and we have Charles. And when they perform some work problems, there is time. And the other column is called as the rate. But the way I look at it, this is the part of the job done in 1 hour. We do not know how long Alex can finish the job working alone. So we let this to be a variable A. For the same reasoning, we do not know also how long can Bob finish the job. So we call it as the variable B. And let's see be the length of time in hours for Charles to finish the same job. Now, how are we going to fill in this third column? Here is the intuition. Let's say I have this certain job that I have to finish. And let's say I can do this in 2 hours. If I can finish this in 2 hours, what part of the job can I do in 1 hour? Of course, I can do half of the job, because if I can finish this in 2 hours, then in 1 hour, I can finish 1/2. And I can get this as this 1 over these 2 hours. Generally, if I can finish the job in a number of hours, the part of the job that I can finish would be 1 over this A. This is the part of the job that I can finish in 1 hour. So similarly here for Alex, if he can finish the job in A hours, in 1 hour, he can complete 1 over A of the job. The same for Bob, 1 over B. And for Charles, 1 over C. Now, if they all work together, then we can add up all the parts of the job. Each one of them contributed to the work. And that is 1 over A plus 1 over B plus 1 over C. Now, what is wrong is for you to add A plus B plus C as the total hours for the three of them to be working together. Because when they all work together, we expect that the number of hours for them to finish the job would be smaller than the sum, because they would be faster. And therefore, it is wrong to add this column. So what therefore is the length of time for all of them to work together? We do not know. So we let that to be the variable X. And since the pattern now is to get this, that is equal to 1 over whatever is here, then we can form this equation. 1 over A plus 1 over B plus 1 over C is equal to 1 over this X. We're going to go back to this equation later on. So let's form now our equation. Alex and Bob can complete the job in 7.2 hours. So we now write it as 1 over A plus 1 over B. That is equal to 1 over 7.2 hours. So this is the part of the job they can do working together, and that is equal to their individual contribution to the work. But this 7.2 is in decimal. It's easier to work with fraction. 7.2 is equal to 36 over 5, and 1 over 36 over 5 is just equal to 5 over 36. So let's replace this with 5 over 36. Bob and Charles can do the same job in 12 hours. So let's move this a little bit to the right, 5 over 36, so that we have space for Charles. 1 over B plus 1 over C, they can finish the job in 12 hours, so 1 over 12. Then, Alex and Charles, Alex is 1 over A, and Charles, 1 over C, they both can finish the job in 9 hours. So in 1 hour, they can finish 1 over 9. We have here 3 equations in 3 unknowns. This is solvable. So 1 over A plus 1 over A is 2 over A. 1 over B plus 1 over B is 2 over B. 1 over C plus 1 over C is 2 over C. And this is equal to the sum of these 3 fractions. So the lowest common denominator is 36. 36 divided by 36 is 1, times 5 is 5. 36 divided by 12 is 3, times 1 is 3. 36 divided by 9 is 4, times 1 is 4. And this is equal to 5 plus 3, 8 plus 4 is 12 over 36, or 1 over 3. Then there's a common factor 2 here, so we can write this as 2 times 1 over A plus 1 over B plus 1 over C equals 1/3. But what is 1 over a plus 1 over b plus 1 over c? We said that is equal to 1 over x. So we have here 2 times 1 over x equals 1/3. And dividing both sides by 2, we have 1 over x equals 1 over 6. So that means x is equal to 6. And what is x? We said that x is the length of time for the three of them working together. So the unit here is hours. So it will take 6 hours for Alex, Bob, and Charles working together to complete the same job. This method is the application of the systems of equations involving 3 unknowns and 3 equations. Now, another method of solving this is like this. Alex and Bob can complete the job in 7.2 hours. So we write that as 1 over A plus 1 over B. Then the other one is Bob and Charles is 1 over B plus 1 over C. And the other one is Alex and Charles, 1 over A plus 1 over C. Now in here, we know that this is 1 over 7.2. This part here is 1 over 12. And this part here is 1 over 9. Now what happens if I add all of this? Notice that you have here 2 1 over A's. So 2 over A. You have 2 1 over B. This one and this one. And you have 2 1 over C. So 2 over C. And we do not know what's the value of this yet. But we can simplify this as 2 times 1 over A plus 1 over B plus 1 over C. But 1 over A plus 1 over B plus 1 over C, we know, is 1 over x. So this is equal to 2 times 1 over x. In other words, the sum of all of this is equal to 2 over x. The same reasoning, if we add all these three, 1 over 7.2 plus 1 over 12 plus 1 over 9, that is also equal to 2 over x. And therefore, we can now solve that equation. We know that 1 over 7.2 is 5 over 36 plus 1 over 12 plus 1 over 9. That is equal to 2 over x. To simplify this rational equation, we multiply by the least common denominator, which is 36x. Multiply this by 36x. 36 divided by 36 is 1, so we have 5x. 36 divided by 12 is 3, times x is 3x. 36 divided by 9 is 4, times x is 4x, equals, this x and x cancelled out, we have 72 at the right side. 5 plus 3 plus 4 is 12, copy x. 12x equals 72, or x is equal to 6. So, x is 6 hours. The same interpretation, x is the length of time for the three of them working together. We found out that that time is 6 hours. So, Alex, Bob, and Charles can complete the job working together in 6 hours. So there's no need for us to find the individual time just in order to answer that question. If you have other method of solving this problem, you can share that in our comment section. So at this point, we are done. So thank you very much. This is Lando Assistant, and we hope to see you again in our next video.